Happy Friday, figure family, and we are here to talk about some new wrestling figure news and reveals. And believe me when I tell you, there is a good amount of stuff and some unique things that honestly shocked me when I saw them, but they're exciting. We got a lot of stuff to look forward to. Stay tuned. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I am excited. You know, I love this part of the channel, this segment we do every single Friday. So make sure you tune in every Friday to see all the new reveals each week. Believe it or not, we are at a point in wrestling figure collecting where we are getting reveals every single week. Doesn't matter if it is independent, mainstream, WWE, AEW, TNA, you name it. We are getting stuff every single week. There's a lot to look forward to. And this is coming from somebody who lifelong has collected and grew accustomed to, something comes out and then you got to wait until new stuff comes out. We don't get reveals, it would just pop up on the shelves. So it is a great time to be a collector. And we got a lot of fun stuff. So we're just going to hop right on into it. Starting off with our guy. Well, not really our guy, because honestly, I have no dealings with him. But Latuni. So he showed off this 4-inch style wrestling WrestleMatic series Macho Man. I don't really know what this is. It's kind of like a Hasbro scale LJN articulated, but on the back it has Macho Man in a cape, but the figure doesn't come with a cape. I don't really understand it, but it does look good. It looks good. I just don't understand the concept that it's going for, but these are going to be going up on June 1st, 2025 at latuni.com. And then Rush Collectibles showed off their six-sided ring, which we talked about last week. Chris Harris, James Storm in Rush's Ringmaster Series 2 are going to come in three different variants, three different color variants. And each one is going to come with a piece of the ring. It's going to come with a post, it's going to come with a base, and it's going to come with a rope. Now, you have to buy all six to be able to build the six-sided ring. I think if it was six different characters, it would probably be an easier sell. But I don't know many people that are going to need three Chris Harrises. James Storm, you could probably do an argument for, but I'd have to see the variants to see if it's something I'm willing to invest in. I don't like that the ropes go behind the post. And I commented this to Rush. He since deleted my comment, but I commented to Sal, just in a very nice, constructive way, saying, is there any way that we could get the ropes to attach to the turnbuckles? And he said there wasn't because hooking behind the post keeps the post in place. Now, I don't know the schematics of this. I don't know how it's designed. But I would imagine that putting on the turnbuckle would also keep it in place. However, he did say that having the rope on the turnbuckle would make the ring exceptionally smaller, which I do understand that aspect. But I still think it's a great idea. I think there's people out there that are big TNA fans that are going to want something like this. For me, it's an easy pass. Like, as long as there was other figures that came with these pieces, I would be down for it. But yeah, I think I'm going to be passing on this. However, check this out. There's going to be two different mats. It's all one mat, but there's going to be two different versions. It's going to have a plain mat and then a bloody mat that you can place on there. And look, here's the finished design. Red posts, black base, and then you have the mat that goes on there. I mean, I think that's very, very cool. It does look good. It's just, I don't really have a place for it. And yeah, I really am affected by those ropes behind the post. The visual just isn't there for me. But I wish him the best. I hope this sells out like crazy. They've been doing pretty decent on their revival. So congrats to Rush and everything like that. Next up, Top Rope Collectibles, we have Paul Orndorff. Here is a new mold of the upcoming Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. You'll notice he still is in that pile driver pose. However, he's going to come with a removable mirror accessory, which I think is pretty cool. I do wish he had a robe, but I think it is a pretty neat figure, especially playability wise. I understand why they went with this pose now. For the pile driver, very cool. And they even displayed him actually holding another character, which is pretty cool. Now, this pre-order opens on June 1st, but you still have 2 days to pre-order Diamond Stud. And trust me, when that's gone, you're going to regret it if you are a Galoob collector. There's 3 different variants available now on topropecollectibles.com. And then following day, June 1st, you'll be able to pre-order Paul Orndorff in orange, blue, and red. Personally, for me, I think I would go with the red. I would think I would go with the red. We don't have really any orange, I should say, Paul Orndorff figure. So that's another cool one as well. And they also said that this is not a final carding. They're still working on it. A couple people said that it looks like Kevin Von Erich, and I believe Jordan from Top Rope Collectibles said that he sees it too. So they do still continue to work on things. It's just an early mock-up. So I love the transparency with those guys over there. Then Toynotion.com is going to be dropping their British Bulldogs very, very soon. Now, listen, these look excellent. I love the cloth goods cape. I love all 3 versions of the gear. However, I really don't need them. We've gotten all these, unfortunately, especially on the right. Man, Mitch from Hassel Toy, we recently did this, and I really dig it. I dig the one that he did. These are all exceptional figures. It's nothing against their figure. They did a great job. It's just we have a ton of Bulldogs. And I have a ton of retros, and I've been backing off on retros because I feel like there's just too much going on in the space. But still, a beautiful figure. That's where you get conflicted, right? I have Bulldogs, tons of Bulldogs. More Bulldogs than I could ever possibly need. But these look so damn good, man. It's tough. There's so many companies making Bulldog, though. They are, however, also going to be doing the Macho Man in 3 different variants. I believe it's WrestleMania 4, 5, and 3, 4, and 5. And they're going to come with robes, which I think is awesome. I will definitely be picking all 3 of those up. And they're doing Tatanka. But we have 2 Tatankas coming from Mitch, so it's I don't know if we're going to need that either. Speaking of Mitch, he showed off a little teaser of an upcoming Sandman figure. I love that the arm holds the cane and rises up like that. It is going to have like a WWE ECW shirt, with the warning on the back and then the Sandman logo on the front. But still very cool. I've seen this figure, and I will say I do think the head sculpt is unbelievable. So stay tuned for more. Who knows? He might have even posted it by the time you guys see this video. Then I'm excited about this. Big Rubber Guys showed off their next series of figures, which is going to be Shotzi Blackheart. She looks good. It's got Ballsy on the back. She's got that creature from the Black Lagoon in the helmet on the back of her jacket. She's got her green and black gear, the green hair, tongue ring. You can see all of her tattoos through the mesh. Looks great. Doesn't really fit in too well with the rest of the roster of previous Big Rubber Guys, but I get it. She's a friend of Matt's. It makes sense. It's a very toyetic figure. You got to start expanding out into modern people. I get it. I will be picking this up because I'm a completist on Big Rubber Guys, and honestly, I can see this being a top Big Rubber Guy just based on look, toyetic style, everything alone. So very cool for Shotzi. We're also getting Coco Beware. We knew this was coming, but we hadn't seen any pictures of it. I love the black and the green. The hair is awesome. The shades. He's got Frankie, which goes right on his forearm and fits nice and snug. I love it. I love the colors on it. My biggest thing that I've been saying with Big Rubber Guys is I think that they're having trouble with the poses a little bit because, you kind of pigeonhole yourself when it's like, all right, everybody's got to have a different pose, but there's only so many poses you could do for a static figure, right? And the problem with that is that there's so many that just make it hard to display. For instance, Matt Hardy with his arms out, right? That's so difficult to display on a limited shelf with a bunch of other big rubber guys. So I'm finding myself only putting a few figures on a shelf and running out of space very, very quickly with these. Another example of that is this Sean Mooney. I love it. I'm getting it 100%. But we could have easily done Sean Mooney in a more Vince McMahon LJN pose where he's just standing straight, right? I don't know exactly why he's leaning. Again, I've said this before. I wasn't a big Sean Mooney guy. He was not my favorite announcer, so I really didn't pay too much attention. So I don't know personally if he did this kind of lean thing, but I can totally see this being excellent. I'm all about referees. I'm all about announcers, so I am excited for this. Again, my biggest thing is like, limited real estate. So certain poses just get me a little worried. I'm like, oh, did we really have to, expand him out like that? Then there's this, and this is a home run for me. To join his brother, the Macho Man Randy Savage, we have Leaping Lanny Poffo, the genius in his graduation garb, the red with the white, and he has his little board where he would read his poems and such, as well as his graduation cap. Very, very, very cool figure. And as you can see, he's just standing straight up. So I think this is going to be an easy one to not take up a lot of space. Probably going to be more so of an ender on a shelf just because of, the compactness of it. They also showed off their upcoming Major Bendy's and Major Stars ring. And a lot of people sent this to me and they were like, they're stealing from Boss Fight. They're stealing from Boss Fight. They're not stealing from Boss Fight. This is a collaboration with Boss Fight to use their mold that they've used for the MLW ring and the Legends of Lucha Libre ring. This is something that they announced, I would say about 2 months ago that they were going to be doing this using that mold. It kind of benefits both companies. But yeah, I was shocked how many people DM'd me about this. It's kind of funny. But yeah, it's all on the up and up, guys. Major on the center circle. They've got Major Bendy's on one side. They've got Major Stars on the other. Very cool if this is going to accommodate them. Obviously, they don't have big rubber guys on there because the big rubber guys are way too big for this. But still, it's going to have that drawer so you can... I don't really know what you'd put in there. Maybe Major Bendy's cards. Maybe that's the way to go. Your trading cards from that. But I will be getting this because I'm such a sucker for stuff like this. And I love that Boss Fight Studio ring. Matt also showed off that he has a new Major Buddy coming. And this one is incredible. It's the complete. He's got those mismatched boots and kick pads, the hairy chest, and the Internet Championship. Always ready, Matt Cardona in the complete gear for a Major Buddy. Very, very cool. It's nice to see the old style buddies coming back. And then he teased this with his Whatnot stream. He put up 2 prototypes of an upcoming Deathmatch Busters figure. And you'll notice this is literally in the style of the real Ghostbusters from Kenner, which I loved as a kid. I feel like everybody had that firehouse where they would come down, all the ooze, and you could bring the Ecto-1 in there. Very cool. And it seems like Matt is getting Matt Cardona real Ghostbusters figures made. We have a standard one, non-bloody, in the Deathmatch Busters suit with a barbed wire bat, which I think is awesome. Then, of course, he is the Deathmatch King, so he's got to have some blood. And there's going to be a bloody variant that comes with a bloody light tube. First off, these are must-gets for me. I was a huge fan of the real Ghostbusters action figure line, and to have a wrestling figure in that vein, beautiful, because I stick to strictly wrestling things. So to have a representation of another line that I loved as a kid and be able to fit it in with my wrestling display, this is a home run. I might even need to get mint on card and loose depending on how it looks. So shout out to Matt on this. This is a genius pull for him. And then he also showed off an upcoming Matt Cardona, the complete Micro Brawler. And this may be one of the, if not the, most toyetic Micro Brawlers ever. I mean, look at that. He's got the Internet Championship that he's holding up. He's got the split face, always ready mask on half of his face. He's got his If Cardona Wins We Riot shirt. Underneath, his purple and white flannel, the GCW logo, the Deathmatch Busters logo, the LI middle finger logo. I mean, this thing is loaded head to toe with different logos, looks, toyetic, and representation of the man's career. I love this. I am not a micro brawler collector, but I am 1000% picking up this one. Very cool. And I believe this is going to be available on his Whatnot streams and at his merch booth. So if you go into any independent shows with Matt Cardona, stay tuned for this one. And also, we announced a couple weeks ago, Pro Wrestling Tees is now allowing independent wrestlers to order their own micro brawlers to sell at shows. And here we have Brad Attitude. I believe Leo Sparrow is also going to have one very, very soon. I love the purple with the stars, star of the show. Easy pass for me, but this is great stuff for guys like this. Check out the braids, the hair, the city skyline on the back. Very cool. Very well done. And honestly, if you are a professional wrestler, this is a great investment in yourself. Even if you are, I would say, any type of personality, this is a great investment in yourself. So I was debating getting some. So would you be interested in a Fig Heel Micro Brawler? We shall see. Comment below. Anyways, moving on, WWE, they showed off from their Power Card series that Abyss is going to be included. Now, this is not a figure, but this is pretty huge that now Abyss is going to be included in the video game representation of WWE with the TNA crossover. Plus, he works for WWE now. Is WWE going to be able to make Abyss figures? Only time will tell, but I would literally love that, and I think a lot of other people would as well. And last but not least, we're finishing off with another video game representation. WWE 2K25 new gear has arrived on the island from Mattel. You can now purchase Rhea Ripley Elite gear and head, as well as Roman Reigns. So if you play the game and you're into that, you can have representations in the elite form of Roman and Rhea now purchasable at the island. So a lot of cool stuff this week, guys. I'm very curious to see what you are most excited for. Hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Fig Heel. Twitter is at The Fig Heel. Pick up the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, available now on Amazon.com, or simply go to HeelBooks.com and make sure you join Whatnot at WhatHeel.com, and you will get $15 off your first purchase. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful Friday. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Get out there, do some fig hunting, get out in the sun, and make sure that you add to that collection, because we love this thing called wrestling figure collecting, and we got to keep it going. So we'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace. Are you a wrestling figure collector of WWE Mattel, AEW Jazzwares, and everything in between? Then you need Fig Heel's Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, the modern edition covering all releases from 2010 to present day. Featuring over 5,000 photos of action figures from the hottest brands, including independent toy makers. Keep track of what you have, want, and need, including loose, mock, and overall collection value. With shots by Matthew Goldberg, the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia is a must-have for collectors. Premium, full-color, and value black and white editions available now on Amazon.com. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Fig Heel. Pick up my book series on Amazon and my merchandise on ProWrestlingTees.com/FigHeel. Join my official sponsor, Whatnot, at WhatHeel.com and receive $15 off your first purchase.